welcome to the Bench Podcast. My name is Joey, joined by my brother, co-host Angel. Happy Sunday, my friend.
Happy Sunday. It's a Broncos victory Sunday.
Yeah.
First win of the year.
Yeah, congrats. Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, I always believed in him.
He's good again. Over at Producer Jess, double barrel action. Registered Packer owner Gabe Tovar, and 605 on a good day, AJ Woodson. How you doing, boys?
What up?
We're great. Packers with
Packers win.
Another win for us.
Eagles win.
Eagles win.
Nervously.
Yep.
Good day.
But you needed it.
In the guest chair, joining us every Sunday,
yeah.
Terrell Thorogood. And
what up, people?
before we move on from Terrell Thorogood, from now on, we are going to introduce him as the legendary Adult Kickball League participant,
Yes,
Terrell
sir. Yes,
Thorogood.
sir.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
kicking
We got a
away.
little surprise for you, Terrell.
Yeah.
You posted something online that I tend to stay away from posting anything of me doing something remotely athletic because
In fear of something. Yeah.
at this point we don't look great doing it.
Yeah.
So let's all watch this if we can. This is Terrell.
Here we go.
Oh my God! What I can't. They're the Incredibles. Hey,
Incredibles.
shout out to the Incredibles.
Yeah. Incredible. Shout out.
What a unit. What a team.
Force.
Terrell did take about 10 seconds to sit down in the chair today.
Yeah.
Tender hamstrings.
Yeah. I pulled my hamstring playing kickball.
Was it right there?
Okay, what I want to point out is that his leg doesn't bend. Play it again.
Can we roll that one more time?
That's a very stiff mechanism.
Which foot do you kick the ball with?
Okay.
Yeah, are you lefty-footed?
I'm left-footed.
It was all
Hey,
shin.
look, I was trying to place the ball on that one.
Yeah, you sliced it.
Yeah, I was trying
Sliced
to.
it.
I was
They got a
trying to-
weak left fielder, huh?
Yeah, I was trying to put it in left field on that one. We
You
had
also
two
ran.
outs.
You also kicked the ball and then ran straight towards the mound and then made a turn.
Are there no officials here saying you have to stay on the baseline?
Was that your lap?
No,
You just
yeah.
couldn't stop?
No, I was focused on putting that ball in left field.
Oh, okay.
See, the
You got there.
The at bat before I placed it right perfectly in right field. Got us a
Okay.
run. So
Okay.
yeah,
This is
You're
I got one
adult kickball.
RBI.
you sprayed
one
all
RBI.
over the field.
Yeah.
I'm all over the field.
He puts it where he wants to put it.
Pause.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pause again.
There it goes.
So how are you doing? How's the team doing?
Yeah.
Where are you? What's particularly your role on the team?
The Incredibles.
Yeah. So I am the what do you call it? The safety there in the outfield. I'm over there
Okay.
flying on the outfield, picking the balls off.
Okay, let's
yeah.
stop there. Is it typically true that the most talented players play adult kickball outfield, or is
Yeah.
it typically true the opposite?
No, yeah. The talented players, you put them in the outfield.
Shut up. That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
You put the weird kid in elementary in right field.
To be
Just put your glove up.
Hey, to be fair, the ball only goes to the outfield, though.
Yeah.
That's
you
true.
don't
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
know. I mean, look, it's
There's
a
no ground balls in kickball.
Yeah, it's a co-ed
I got
league,
it.
so typically the girls they keep it in the infield. So you put the slow.
You're
so
sexy.
They can kick it in the outfield too.
Yeah,
They look. They
We're
last time
all
they did,
equal.
Listen,
that
Big
ball was-
Rhonda gets up there. She's saying it to the fences.
Yeah.
Remember Big Rhonda from that '70s show?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah,
come on,
yeah,
Big
yeah.
Rhonda. Yeah.
Angel loved height. Who else do you like? Are you like?
Hide the character. Just the character, the fictional character that lives on my television set.
How's the team doing? How's it looking this year?
Hey, look, we are. We didn't lose our last game.
So you won.
We didn't win.
Wait. What?
Look, we didn't win the game. It was
weird
a
way to
tie.
say that.
We ran out of time. So
The last game where the game ended, we were winning. So
look, we were up. Okay, we were up.
So what are you celebrating?
We are celebrating the fact we didn't lose. We did not lose.
So that's
the
how
game.
the season's going.
Okay.
It's more of a rebuilding
Hey,
season.
look, we're 2 weeks in.
A year away
so
from
we
being
gotta-
a year away.
Yeah.
We're a year away from being away. So look, we're a fairly new team. I think most of us is our first time playing together. So
Yeah.
we're building that chemistry.
No.
No.
I was gonna say let's analyze this roster, but Angel can't play.
no. I want
because these are real people that Terrell knows.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, these-
and I know for a
No.
fact that some of them just followed the show.
This is a compliment.
Yeah.
This is a compliment.
Yeah, okay.
Where's the
That's
big
rare.
man on the right side? Where is he playing?
Yeah, he feels like a first baseman.
He feels like he's shortstop.
He was a ringer for that
Really?
game, so he's not even. He's technically not on our roster. Brought in some talent for the game. No, that's Big Dev. He's played shortstop.
Yeah.
This is an
He looks like
interesting
it.
league.
He looks like it.
So you can just kind of have a guest player.
Yeah, if you want to show up,
Not a chance in the
Hey, the
world.
bench boys? No.
No,
the bench boys.
No.
you tearing something out there, dude.
I'll coach the hell out of it, though.
Yeah.
dude, come on down.
Anyways, that was a pleasure to see at least one of us doing something athletic when we're away from the show. Let's hear it for Terrell.
Let's do it. Let's do
Good
it.
stuff, good
Incredibles.
stuff. Did something just happen in the game? I just got a tweet. Can someone keep up with the game? Because I feel like
Yes, it was 4th and 1.
We're recording this as we're listening to Sunday Night Football. Falcons, Chiefs. Where's it at right now?
It's less than a minute. They went for it on 4th down, a sweep.
Who's they?
The Falcons went for it down by 4. Bijan Robinson to the left, and he got stuffed. So the Chiefs are going to win this one.
Wow.
How much time is left on the clock?
They're doing 1,000 replays. Give me 1 second.
54 seconds left.
Can I ask you what yard line they're on? Are they?
Okay,
Are they?
they're in their own 13. Chiefs are their own 13.
Oh, okay. Because they skipped that field goal earlier, and I could have made it.
No. Yeah, the Falcons were in the red zone in 13.
The game's over.
So they would have won if they would kick that first field goal.
Yes.
Oh no.
Wait, no.
If
It
they
would
would've
have been.
kicked
It would have
the
been
field goal-
20 to 22.
Yeah, it'd be 22-20. And they could kick another field goal
And
right
win.
now.
No, the Chiefs have the ball.
Yes.
In their own
They went
You're
for it
right.
on
You're
4th
right.
down.
You're
The
right.
Chiefs went for
You're
it.
right.
They stopped them. Now they're going back.
Yeah. So
What's up with teams just not kicking field goals?
It's weird
Eagles,
this year. Nobody wants to
Nick
kick field
Sirianni,
goals.
kick
Actually-
a damn field goal.
I mean, even the Saints did it today as well.
God.
it's just stupid analytics.
Yeah.
Being like,
Analytics.
I think it's weird. Like they'll kick field goals when they're 60 or beyond, but it was like 40 in. Like just go for it.
So it's exactly
Why-
what we did today.
Just take the points, and now that cost the Falcons a win at home.
Episode 161 is what we're doing today. This is for Monday, September 23rd, 2024. We are 8, how many days into September? 30, 31?
31.
22.
30 days,
Okay.
half September.
We are just a couple of weeks away from
We're 22 days.
cracking open the Christmas music playlist. October 1st.
No,
We're at least 45
we're
days away.
very far away.
I'm with him.
far.
Just in my house, I guess. On today's episode, we're getting to the news. Monday's Benchies, always a good time. Ball don't lie. And there was some telling performances today.
some good
We'll get
football.
into that. Before we get into that, if you're watching on YouTube, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
Subscribe, turn on those notifications. Thanks for joining us on this happy Monday. If you're listening to Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, thank you for joining the audio version of the Bench Podcast. Audio. Okay. Please like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, leave a review.
That's not my thing.
And then follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok.
TikTok, that's mine.
Follow the show,
Yeah.
between the show, on those platforms as things are different highlights, clips from the show. If JB said something crazy, reacting to that. Just all sorts of stuff going up on those platforms. And thank you to all of you who are following there. And, of course, check out benchshow.com, home of the Bench Beat, articles on fandom, fantasy, and all things NFL. Week number 3, almost in the books. We got a doubleheader Monday Night Football tomorrow night.
because-
How do we feel about that?
I would like it if it was spaced out like this game's first,
If we could
once the
watch
game
both
ends,
games,
and then
yeah.
this game starts. Not like, all right, you both go at the same time. Choose one, NFL fan.
I
don't like
really
that.
want to hear someone explain it.
Question. Yeah, I was about to say. Can someone give me a good explanation on why? Like any of you guys?
Like, why is it financially viable for the
I
NFL
don't
to do this?
I don't know.
No, just like in general, like entertainment wise, like why? What's the reasoning?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know,
Someone
because
give me
it's
a
on the
reason.
same network. If it was like on 2 different networks,
Right.
like, okay, well, both networks get to have an NFL game. But ESPN, ABC, Disney, they carry both of them. So I don't really...
It makes neither game's a primetime game now. Because,
Yeah, just cuts it. in
well,
half.
the one that Aikman and Buck are doing.
right.
Yeah,
Right?
so you would lean that way, which I'm guessing would be the Bengals because Joe
Question,
Burrow.
do they make you listen to Manning on the other one?
No, it's just another group.
No, it's like the B-list team. whoever
So
that is.
Manning's going to be on ESPN 2.
Yeah.
We got the Bills and Jags on ESPN and Commanders and Bengals
ABC.
on ABC.
Pharrell, thoughts on doubleheader Monday Night Football action?
Look, the last time I remember a Monday Night Football
say it.
game doubleheader, we already talked about this last week. So Sergio Dip.
Last
so
time.
hopefully they don't, have another one of those.
Not screw him, bring him back, dude.
Yeah.
He's
Maybe
available.
He
Sergio
was
Dip,
great.
yeah, maybe he needs to come back.
That's what we need.
This is his second chance.
We need Sergio,
If
friend
you
of the show.
remember, Sergio Dip famously gave a sideline report for the ages on Monday Night Football years and years ago.
Yep.
Later, we
better
would
with
learn that English is his second language, but didn't have that information the day of, so
Yeah.
we laughed a lot.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Several years ago, didn't we have like a Monday night doubleheader that was spaced out, like a 4:15
remember.
start and then a
there-
7:30 start? And I think the 7:30 was like a West Coast. It was a San Francisco home game.
I
Is
It's
it
just better not to do this at all.
Right.
Is it because of the East Coast, like why we can't start it? It has to be staggered, like where it's layered instead of like clean.
I don't know why.
I
you
don't
just
know.
don't.
It's
the East
weird.
Coast.
I don't like
East
it.
Coast.
Yeah.
Always ruining things.
All right, it is Monday, and on Monday we give away benchies. Let's get into it. Monday's benchies. All right, I'll get us started here. The Bryce Young's Worst Nightmare Award, or benchie, goes to the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton. Only player in the NFL this season with 300 passing yards and 3 touchdowns in a single game. The Red Rocket's back, and he plays for the Panthers.
Yeah, we all called it. We all knew Andy Dalton would come in. He said he's going to tear shit up. And he totally did.
Yep.
God.
On top of all the free agent signings, we thought, hey,
Dalton, sleeper.
to the moon.
Yep.
We got in.
My benchy this week, it's called the Will Levis Award. It goes to the worst quarterback in the NFL. That goes to quarterback Will Levis. Today, he threw 2 picks. I think we have a picture.
He's so bad.
Now leads the league with 8 turnovers, and 3 weeks in a row has quite the picture. Just getting what's that called? Teabagged or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Gabe, who's number 90? Whose bag is that?
That's Luke's Van Ness.
Man, it's
Oh,
just teabagging
God.
Will Levis. Will Levis
Big
just
old kid.
A Russian.
He's like
Face in the dirt.
Will Levis is on a generational run right now. He cannot be stopped. Each week, just trying to top himself.
Weirdly enough, the coach finally came out and backed his player after today's game. So at least things are looking up.
Yeah, he's looking up, even though he has 8 turnovers and leads the league in turnovers. That's great.
What you got, Terrell?
My benchy this week is the new Purple People Eaters. The Minnesota Vikings
let's go.
defense they have been on a tear these first 3 games of the season. 16 sacks. And they spent a lot of money in the offseason bolstering this defense.
Yep.
Guys like Van Ginkel sacked today, 3 on the season. John Grenard just went off on his old team this week. 3 sacks.
Oh, revenge game for
revenge
Grenard.
game for Grenard. 3 sacks. He just went
That's
at Stroud this game. So I mean, they're balling right now. This defense is unreal. I can't wait to see. I think they might dominate the sack total this season. So
Vikings beat the pants off the Texans next week.
Vikings Packers.
Vikings Packers.
Oh
Yeah,
my
great.
God.
yeah.
Producers, give some benchies.
Yeah. So I've got one that's might be a recurring theme here. It's what did you just say, Benchy? To my boy Xavier Legette getting interviewed again in the locker room. I got a video for us.
These are always fun.
Here we go.
I mean, it's a little frustrating, but I mean we got 15 more games, so I can't dwell on it. I just got to see what's out there for me this upcoming game. I don't know if you've already asked, but
He's putting it on.
No, he's not.
No, that's real.
That's way too consistent. Like he's done that every single interview.
Where was he born, dude?
Oh, easy, Angel. Jeez.
South Carolina, right?
Racist.
South Carolina.
Racist.
Deep South.
I'm not saying a word.
Gabe,
It's a deep South.
thoughts on racism?
I believe it's wrong.
Yeah.
What you got, Gabe?
Okay.
I got what I hear. I got the stop the cap benchy to Dak Prescott. I got a video for you guys.
You guys getting? Yeah, if you didn't hear that, he said, "Jump off if you want, please."
Yeah, so he's basically insinuating if you guys are if you're jumping off the bandwagon, go ahead and jump off. Dak, I don't think your fans are on the bandwagon right now. So when you say that you want to talk a big game, that's fine. But you're starting off 1-2, not really a lot of hope there. You talk to a Cowboy fan, they're kind of iffy. Jump off if you want. My only question is jump off of what?
Whoa.
Jump off of what?
AT&T Stadium.
I'm sure Cowboy fans are thinking about jumping off some ledges right now. I'm just saying. I mean, it's just terrible.
Did you hear Lamar Jackson reference suicide?
Nice.
Wow.
He was
Always a
they
great-
asked him how important the win was. He's like, I'm pretty sure some people are on suicide watch.
Nice.
Not sure that's what they teach you in how to have an interview after the game talk.
Isn't
What are those people called? That train you how to talk to the media. What are they called?
Media
PR.
coach.
PR. Yeah, public relations.
He's like, don't. You know him?
Yeah. The where the fuck has this been? Benchy goes to 49ers wideout Juwan Jennings, 11 catches, 175 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Where the hell has this been?
Debo who?
Ayuk who? You're paying Ayuk $30 million just for the other guy to have a incredible day?
And I'm not gonna let you skate by it. Brock Purdy who?
Yep.
Woo!
They lost
Eat
it,
it.
and he threw
Eat
a pick,
it.
so
Eat it.
They were up.
What's CJ
They were
Stroud
up,
do
and
today?
They were up, and then they lost.
CJ Stroud
They're up, and then they lost.
struggled.
So they both. So at this point, it's still Stroud up because they
CJ
both
Stroud
struggled.
struggled against a defense that Brock Purdy threw for 300 yards against last week.
They both lost.
They both lost.
I don't think we talked. We didn't bet on their record. We bet on what
Their
on their
performance.
performance.
But he's
target.
the face of the organization.
Then-
What do you mean?
So we're changing the bet.
This is insane. Are you serious?
If
We're
this was
changing the
reversed,
bet.
you would have been
Yeah.
all over it.
They pick and choose which argument they want.
Not at
come
all.
on.
We're going on stats and we're sticking with stats.
Yeah, talk about making something out of nothing. How about making something out of Jawan Jennings?
Yeah.
I think he's a franchise quarterback.
The weapon.
I got one more here. The might as well get him a gold jacket, Benchy, goes to Chargers rookie tackle Joe Alt. Listen to this. To start his career, the 5th pick in the 2024 NFL draft has not given up a sack or even a pressure when matched up one-on-one with Max Crosby,
Sheesh.
Jadeveon Clowney, and today TJ Watt.
Wow.
The guy is all-pro, first team right now.
This reminds me of when Lane Johnson was young and he was just coming on the scene. It's like this guy, no one's talking about him because he's a right tackle. It's not the cool tackle to be. He's like an all-pro level already. Only 3 games.
Three
in?
games in his career.
Good
I mean,
for him.
listen, we all need to go ahead and pump the brakes next time we start questioning Harbaugh in the offseason. The man knows what he's doing.
He knows that Jeff Lyman, him and Slater. I know Slater was in and out today with an injury, but still, for the next 5-10 years, you have those 2 tackles. It's pretty good.
Even though he ran into a buzzsaw by the name of Justin Fields today.
Yeah. Damn.
Let's get to the news. All right, guys. Today, well, I guess last week, we got introduced to the greatness of Malik Nabers, right? And Marvin Harrison. But kind of feel like we got a nice encore from Malik Nabers today. He put up some incredible highlights that were all over Twitter to start the NFL day. Let's take a look at these. Malik Nabers against the Cleveland Browns. We see Daniel Jones, who is ass, goes way up, twirling like a beautiful ballerina.
I don't know.
Looking end zone, throws. It's
I mean, one-on-one, he's impossible already.
It looks like another New York Giant rookie wideout that burst on the scene and was doing incredible catches in the air.
now,
Yeah.
yes, makes up for
He's
that horrible
he's
play.
phenomenal, and I
Watch the
honestly,
hand
at this
as the
point,
second foot comes down.
did the Cardinals make the right?
I was gonna say, at this point, definitely more like athletically impressive.
Yeah.
Like Marvin Harrison is a beast. He had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter last week.
Yeah.
He's great. This one, he absolutely mosses whoever that poor Browns cornerback is. He just did whatever he wanted today. Very impressive, Malik Nabers.
Yeah, Malik Nabers, picked 6th, right? Then
yep,
Harrison
6th.
was picked 4th. Man, between him and Joe Alt, incredible rookies this year. But Malik Nabers, just the body control and what I love about this, he's doing this with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
If you could do it with a bad quarterback, you're just really good. Like look at Justin Jefferson in Minnesota. We didn't think anything. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was supposedly washed up. Just Jefferson still balling out, and then Nabers all year balling out with Daniel Jones, who might not even be on the NFL roster next year. It's just incredible.
Question for you, Terrell. Even though he seems like the truth, do you think they should have picked a quarterback? Because they still really suck.
Yeah, I mean, with a loaded, QB room this year, but I think they definitely or QB draft, this year. I think, they definitely should have went quarterback. But look, I think the real rookie of the year watch is going to be these 2 receivers. It's going to be Harrison. It's going to be Nabers. That's what we're going to be looking at. That's the conversation we need to be focused on this year. Is those 2 guys because they are sensational.
Can I push back on that a little bit?
Go ahead, give me
the
give
guy
me a
we
little
just
push.
talked about, Mr. Joe Alt.
Yeah.
I hope he gets some kind of consideration, even though he's an unsexy, super white vanilla tackle.
And super white.
Yeah, we never heard him talk.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But
Comes into work.
I hope he gets
Lunch
consideration.
Yeah.
He won't.
Yeah, he's not going to. I mean, I don't.
We don't have the stat. I wonder when the last time a lineman got rookie of the year, if it ever happened before.
1983.
Are you
He's
making
pulling
that
that
up?
out of nowhere.
I was like, that's
I
really
was just like,
specific.
Joey, bravo, man. That was
Who the hell was that?
Wow.
All right, let's move on here. This is some sad news about a rookie right tackle,
Yeah.
Troy Fautanu.
Yeah.
3rd significant injury of the Steelers' offensive line. They lose Herbig. They lose Isaiah Malu. It later came out that Fautanu dislocated his kneecap, has ligament damage, will need surgery. Out for the year. We won't see him until next year playing for the Steelers. Steelers beat up offensive line. This guy was supposed to come in and really solidify things, as was Broderick Jones, but he's absolute trash bag, garbage, terrible. So they're kind of doing it with, despite just having terrible offensive line play.
Yeah. It's supposed to be Broderick Jones and Fautanu for the next 5 years, but now it's like one's not good, and the other one obviously can't get his career started. But good for the Steelers they keep winning. Yeah, despite the injury, they keep winning.
They're 3-0 atop the AFC North, which of course is what we all predicted.
We all saw this coming.
But I was thinking today, listen, the Bears. I'm not making a judgment on Caleb Williams yet. I'm going to pump the brakes. Wait, we don't know yet. It's 3 games in his career, but if they would have kept Justin Fields, they're a Super Bowl contender right now.
Because they could have gotten Joe Alt.
They could have drafted, Joe Alt, Marvin Harrison,
or Nabers or something. Or,
and they're Super Bowl contenders right now, right? With him.
Oh yeah, I mean, because the play style they're doing in Pittsburgh, you can replicate that in Chicago, run the ball, play good defense. So yeah, absolutely.
I just think I'm forever scarred by I'm not ever gonna believe him anymore when some generational talent comes. Because the last 2 guys they did that with is just, no, he's not.
Yeah. Caleb Williams and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. And then the guys that they had questions about, some guy named Joe Burrow, another guy named C.J. Stroud. No, he's major flaws.
Yeah, it's interesting. They've been saying that. I think every prospect now is like a generational talent.
Mel Kiper.
What do you say? No, I love Mel Kiper, but JB roasted the hell out of him.
He got him
really good.
I would love to see those two. Those are some hotheads.
Yeah, those. You wouldn't understand a word that's coming out of their mouth. Just loud noises.
Volume.
Yeah. God.
Let's move on here.
Real quick, go. On the Offensive Rookie of the Year, no tight end or offensive lineman has ever won the award. Zach Martin finished second in 2014 with 7 first-place votes. That was losing to Odell Beckham Jr.
Zach, God. If Zach Martin can't win it, he's
Right.
been great since.
Because of the last great rookie.
Wide out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
All right, let's move on here to Jerry Jones. Always a good time.
Yeah.
Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, when asked if he regrets not signing Derrick Henry, who, by the way, had 174 total yards today against the Dallas defense, quote, couldn't afford Henry.
Just can't afford it.
Can't afford it.
Hey, all in.
Liar!
Yeah, but they were all in and couldn't afford.
I don't know if Jerry just understands
Math.
No one believes you. Just no one believes
Is he aware of like the internet?
No,
Like
absolutely.
that everything he's saying is on record everywhere for everyone.
He doesn't use the box tube.
You kind of get the impression that he's in his he's on his yacht right now, just thinking I spun the hell out of him.
Like I made that
I
work.
have everyone right where I want them.
Yeah, Derrick Henry killed them today, and it just kind of sucks if you're a Cowboys fan because you're like, oh, we could have that guy, and we could have won this game against Baltimore. They could have easily won that game because they came back.
I mean, I've heard a lot. They clearly needed a running back this offseason, and they skipped on Jonathan Brooks. They skipped on Braylon Allen in the 4th. They skipped on a number of rookie running backs. They eventually brought in budget option Ezekiel Elliott, hoping the fans will buy it just because he was a Cowboy legend. Mm-hmm. Rico Dowdle, which we've all learned is
just a guy.
Freeman or just a budget
Freeman,
running back room.
I think Dalvin Cook signed there, right? I haven't seen him.
He hasn't even been elevated yet.
Just throw him out there. See what got. Yeah, it's Jerry
What
Jones. I don't think. I mean, he's a GM, but he puts too many interviews out. You don't have to talk that much, dude.
Me and Angel were talking about. Obviously, McCarthy's gone very soon.
Yeah,
he's not going to. I doubt he makes the season.
They're 1-2 now, right? Yeah.
Because he's clearly the problem.
Yeah. Well, it's not. Well, who else they could do? They just signed Dak.
They just signed CeeDee Lamb.
Just signed CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
There's no one else to ship out of town, so it's gonna be
Mike.
Mike McCarthy. Yeah. But question, Terrell, if you're a young coordinator or I guess coordinators now think because they don't need a quarterback anymore, are you going to be a head coach for the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, it's probably one of the more least attractive places. I mean, it's there. It's Cleveland. Those are the places you don't want to stay away from. We obviously know Cleveland is a dumpster fire year over year. But then you're going to be in the shadow. You're always in the shadow of Jerry Jones, and it's just that pressure of, look, it's always going to be my fault. He already even said it, there's nobody can be GM better than me.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all right, well, he's he's super arrogant, and you gotta sit behind that. So it's just a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, it feels like Jerry, too, has a solid 10 to 15 years left in those bones. Just to be,
he's pretty spry.
Just to be mad and senile.
Isn't he older than Joe Biden?
The entire conversation, I'm
sure he
thinking
is,
Joe
yeah.
Biden. I want to see a conversation with Joe Biden.
Jerry Jones.
Well, if you think about it, Jerry Jones is a perfect mixture of Joe Biden's body with Kamala Harris's mouth.
That was incredible.
But yeah, let's
Hey,
move on.
Jerry
Joey and
Jones.
Angel, I got a question for you.
Jerry Jones is 1 month older.
1 month.
Oh my God. That is terrible. We got to stop giving these old guys power.
In all aspects of our country.
In government.
They were 100% part of the same KKK rally. Back in the day.
Like, what's up, Joe?
I know it's you under there.
We run the world.
You got a question?
Yeah. What's a worse head coach or head coaching job? The Cowboys or the Los Angeles Lakers?
Oh, jeez. It's gonna be
It's
the
Dallas.
Cowboys
Wow.
because at least Jeannie stays out of Jeannie Buss.
Yeah.
Stays out of personnel decisions.
Yeah.
But
Now,
you could be gone in 6 months.
The hard part of that is that Rob Pelinka doesn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Cowboys, for sure. Because you're not going to get rid of Jerry. No matter how much you try, he's going to talk for you. He'll talk against you. He'll talk for contracts.
He's like your
against,
parent.
Yeah, it's like, I wish I could just coach and not worry about this old man telling people. Remember, like, in the draft, after the first round, Jonathan Brooks was still there. He told everybody, oh, we like Jonathan Brooks. And the first pick was Jonathan Brooks. Like, you don't need to.
Oh, yeah.
And then Mike McCarthy's like, I would love Jonathan Brooks right now. That'd be great. Imagine them
If
having.
you remember that interview, as soon as he said it, his son was like, "Yeah."
It's just like, no,
Shut
'cause
up.
You try to build something, and then this guy just keeps getting in your way of building it. That's
You know what else is wrong with them, too, is that when the Cowboys are actually right, he takes credit for it.
All
He
along.
doesn't spread the credit at all.
To be fair,
wasn't that the whole thing with him and the legendary coach in the 90s?
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, that was the whole thing, right? Like, who was responsible for what? And Jerry Jones also won.
And Jimmy Johnson just got back in his good graces like 20 years later, whatever.
Get your keister up. Sorry, that's all. That's all I think about. I think it's Jimmy Johnson.
Man, him and Biden the same age.
That's pretty.
God
that's
help
pretty
us.
funny. Let's move on here. Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce on the loss to the Panthers.
Yikes.
Quote: As the game went on, there were some individuals that made business decisions. So we'll make business decisions going forward as well. I mean, some people are gonna hit the pine.
Yeah, I mean,
Where was this?
Who is it, Antonio?
wait, hey, coach, way to be level-headed after a loss. Way to not do any rash things, bro.
Make some grand gestures right away.
Why don't you just watch the film, be calculated, and come back, I
You
might
have a problem with this?
Yeah,
I just don't.
I don't
do.
like it.
I don't know if there's value just sending warning shots in the media.
Yeah.
Like, this is like Callahan with the Titans last week. It's like, that's a great thing to say to the locker room in Monday morning's meeting. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's I don't have that big a deal because it's not toward an individual player. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I wouldn't do it, but I don't think it's that bad. Terrell, I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I like it. I think you got to do it. I think you got to send that message. It's on brand with Antonio Pierce. Like, he's that type of guy. I mean, I just remember the Broncos were like in the same situation last year, week 3, got beat by 50 points, and they knew it was because guys were making business decisions, and they got rid of them. They got rid of Gregory. They got rid of Frank Clark. They got rid of those guys who were just weighing the team down. So I think he's seeing the same thing.
No, but he wasn't going out there and saying, like, we're going to make some joy. Like, there's a way to do it. I don't know.
You're soft. That's the problem.
I think using the media can be effective too, though.
Yeah.
Because they all heard that through the media, and now they're all going to be like, I wonder if he's talking about me.
I think we also have to think about, like, Antonio Pierce definitely has the pulse of this locker room. Like, if there's one thing he does well is all those guys are bought into Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
So maybe a guy like that can get away with it better than, like, if, like, Mike McCarthy said this. Like, okay, Mike.
But I'll tell you what.
Number one, shut up.
The guy who he cuts, he's going to have the brand of picking the business to, like, he's going to be like, oh, you're the loser.
Let's all make a random pick on who it is.
I didn't watch the game.
Oh, man. God. Any other lineman besides
It's going to be
Colton
someone
Miller?
soft.
Who's soft out there? Who? Never mind.
Hey, Devontae's pissed. He's not going to be there.
We've been. I want them to lose more so he can go back to Aaron and during playoff times and just see him reunited there. I don't want to see him with the Raiders no more. I think they lost their game sealing interception was he was doing an out route and Minshew threw a dig and it was a pick and it was.
I thought, did Aiden O'Connell get in this game?
Yeah, because it was they were so far behind.
I wonder if it's Gardner Minshew.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're better with Aiden O'Connell.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back with our Monday segment, Ball Don't Lie. Be right back. This segment is brought to you by Dad Gang Hats. Dad Gang makes the highest quality hats in the apparel industry because they use premium materials, pay close attention to detail, and prioritize durability and comfort. With so many styles, colors, and designs, they absolutely have the right hat for you and the dad in your life. Use code BENCHED76826. That's BENCHD 76826 for 15% off your first purchase. Shop Dad Gang Hats. Quality hats for quality dads. All right, it is that time of week where we do a little segment we call Ball Don't Lie, where we just try to tell it like it is. We try to separate ourselves from the narrative and just call it like it is, how we saw it on the field, no matter expectations, no matter preconceived ideas. Angel, get us started.
Yeah, my first Ball Don't Lie is Aaron Rodgers looks pretty good, and the league should be worried. This goes back to Thursday night. Aaron Rodgers Thursday night against the Patriots, 27 for 35, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, with 18 yards rushing. I say that stat because he looked good running the ball. He looked good scrambling. He was doing outside the pocket stuff that he hadn't done in about 4 or 5 years.
Absolutely.
He threw the ball to 8 different wideouts. That's good. He doesn't just target, Garrett Wilson every time. They were 10 for 15 on third down. And on the year, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. I think he's heating up, and I think a angry kind of chip on his shoulder, Aaron Rodgers. The league should be worried because he looked pretty damn good against a pretty good defense.
I'm glad you brought this up because it happened so long ago, and people kind of forget about it because it's Thursday night football. But the Jets look really good. Aaron Rodgers looks good. The defense, I feel like they haven't even played their best yet. I feel like they shored up against the run this last
Donald
week.
He's pretty good.
He balled out, but to me, this Jets team, if they can run the ball the way they're running the ball, with Breece Hall kind of playing that Alvin Kamara role, Braylon Allen getting tough between the yards carry, that boy is 20 years old, running over full-grown men.
20 years younger than Aaron Rodgers.
It's wild. But they have those two guys in the backfield. I feel like Lazard is playing really well. That chemistry with Rodgers is really coming through. Yep. Garrett Wilson is there when you need him. I think we'll get bigger games here in the future. Rodgers talked about how teams are just basically trying to take him away. And Rodgers is doing what a veteran quarterback does. He's making them pay for that. We've seen big games from Lazard.
Mike Williams looks pretty good,
Mike
too.
Williams flash. And so, I'm like, Conklin played well this last week.
Played very well, yeah.
I watched that team, and I thought they definitely have enough weapons. They have the right brain behind center. This is a real contender.
Yeah, it's fun to see, too, because we hadn't seen Aaron Rodgers play like this in about 2 years because he's been hurt 1 year, and then he didn't play great the year prior to that. And then now he seems rejuvenated. He seems just like, he's running around there like he's moving well.
Yeah, he's moving well. He's taking hits in the pocket.
Yeah.
He's getting tackled low. He's popping up from it. Like, he just looks really good. It looks really like he's truly recovered.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited about this Jets team. I'm excited to see where you rank them. How much respect you're going to give to Mr. Aaron Rodgers, that bad man himself.
He's also one of the most coolest the coolest quarterback in the NFL. Like, aesthetically, throws the ball cool. Kind of just walks like a big old douchebag.
That's worth something.
Yeah, that's worth some points. That's worth a ranking at least.
Terrell, right now, gut feeling, who's winning the AFC East? Jets, Bills.
I'm still big on the Bills. I said at the beginning of the season, this is still the Bills division. I'm pumping the brakes a little bit. Look, they beat the Patriots. The Patriots aren't that great. Their defense is middle of the pack, if anything. So he looked good. That's what the Jets were missing over the last few years, was beating the bad teams. Like, they were struggling to beat the teams and win the games that they should have won.
Yeah.
I want to see how he does, over the next 4 weeks. Look, you've got Denver next week. Their defense is very underrated.
Oh God,
so Denver's defense is underrated. I want to see that. You've got the Steelers and you've got the Vikings here, and you got 3 really tough defenses over the next 4 weeks. So I want to see how he does there. So I'm cautiously, I'm pumping the brakes a little bit on the Jets, but I think this is still the Bills division.
Okay, so we have the anti-Jets guy.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Terrell.
So we found him.
So that's
we found him.
Terrell, what you got?
My ball don't lie is Dave Canales knows what he's doing. Look, I mean, we said this week 1. We said the jury's still out on him. We don't know how he's going to do. He's the quarterback whisperer. Look, he said Bryce, our quarterback, the next day, get out of here. You're not. You're
Sit
not-
your ass down.
You're not our quarterback anymore.
Little man.
Little
And
boy.
look, we heard from all of everybody. We've heard from Cam Newton. We heard from guys all the Panthers. They don't know what they're doing. He needs some help. He needs some weapons. And I just found myself this game going, wait, Thielen's still on the team. Hubbard's still on the team. Johnson's on the team. Who are all these guys? Right? There were no weapons this whole time. Andy Dalton to come out 3 touchdowns. I mean, no interceptions.
Yeah.
They only gave up 2 sacks. 319 yards. Hubbard, 21 carries, 114. He got a touchdown, so I don't know. I mean, you embarrassed the Raiders at home, and that defense did with all the monsters on that defensive line, they did very little damage to Andy Dalton.
Right. Andy Dalton balled out. It was kind of a weird day. You got Sam Darnold, Andy Dalton, like Baker Mayfield's out there, Geno Smith's 4-0.
What era are we
What's
living?
happening right now? But yeah, Dave Canales, I mean, this is a definite step in the right direction for like, oh, okay, maybe
he knows what he's
maybe
doing.
he's just fine.
It's also
Really bad.
yeah. How's it look for Bryce Young?
Really bad for Bryce Young. But hey, they're not going to trade him.
Hey, no.
Want to hold on to that piece.
Our quarterback room is great. It's great. We have Bryce Young, so
Trade
don't
him.
worry about it. Just trade him.
If you can get anything for him, trade him.
'Cause he's-
God.
Dalton, good for him, and it's good. And that offensive line has been good. They're ranked high even when Bryce Young was there. I'm just glad that Dalton's finally able to. The vibes are good. Like people were smiling. There was third down conversions. There was
Third down.
it looked good. It looked like an
That's
offense.
a positive.
There was a 2nd and 6.
And there was a 3rd and 1, and they converted it. That's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, if you're a Panthers fan, if they're out there,
wherever you are,
They're hiding.
you can get a ticket for about $3 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Maybe skyrocketing. Another $10.
yeah.
It's the hottest ticket in town.
Yeah.
But you feel so much better today than you did yesterday.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, it is just doom and gloom. But today, you're thinking, okay, we might have a ringer here, a head coach. Andy Dalton's a nice guy this year. Maybe we get another young quarterback in next year, and this thing's fixed.
Yeah, but David Tepper, he's gonna claim some victory laps for this one.
Oh, he's scouting right now. He's like, now I just got to find a quarterback.
Like, see, I was right. I told you guys. You guys all hate me.
Well, it does kind of explain the quick hook for Bryce Young.
Yeah.
You got to imagine Dave Canales he was there in camp. He saw Dalton run his offense really well. He thought, I am not losing my job for that little scrawny middle schooler.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the grown man with the red beard.
Yeah.
And keep my job maybe for a couple years.
Yeah.
Set a record for the Panthers and David Tepper.
It's crazy that Bryce Young's price went down after today. Like you didn't think it could go any lower after getting benched, and now it's even lower for people seeking out a trade.
I mean, Schefter reported that there's multiple teams asking him. I don't know why you wouldn't pull the trigger right away. Make it right. If you can get out, I guess we'll probably see at some point what the offers were.
Yeah.
But I mean, a 4th round pick. Are you jumping at that?
Yeah, and teams like just watching today, all the backup quarterbacks that we had across the league, Miami should probably take a little swing at it. There's a lot of teams out there that need a backup quarterback.
Chicago has the chance to do the funniest thing in the world.
Go get
Chicago, just go. Yeah, that'd be pretty. Oh God, it's good for Andy Dalton, but bad for Bryce Young. And he's gonna get a second shot. I hope it just happens faster. You don't want to see him all year just carrying a clipboard. You want to see him playing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Andy Dalton looked like a young man today.
Hey, good for Andy Dalton. He's still QB1 in his mind. He's still in his prime.
All right, I got one here, and I'm gonna say it proudly. The Vikings have their franchise quarterback, and I know that's a little loaded. I get it's a little jarring. Okay, but let me talk to you a little bit about the man we know as Sammy Buckets, Sammy
D.
You can't say Sammy Dimes because Danny Dimes is already a thing.
I feel like you can.
He lost that.
He lost that.
No, like because you
He has no claim to
no,
that.
but, no,
They
but
were
like-
chanting Danny Pennies after the game.
But
So-
people already know Danny Dimes as a nick. You have to wait.
I'm
a couple
actually
weeks.
gonna take
we can get that out of there.
Yeah,
you're gonna have
That's
to-
not hard to remove.
Okay, but Sam
Never mind,
Darnold.
sorry.
God,
Angels now the Danny Dimes guy.
No, please, no.
Screw Milton's on you.
Danny Dimes.
yeah, Angels are trying to protect the legacy of Daniel Jones.
He's a nice guy.
He has a beard. Sam Darnold, 8 touchdowns. That leads the NFL. Just 2 interceptions. QBR is 73, 657 passing yards. They, of course, are 3-0. He goes 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for the first 2 games. Today, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Absolutely tore up. Outplayed the phenom on the other side thoroughly, C.J. Stroud. As Sam Darnold's right there just balling out of his mind. We saw Naylor kind of breakout today. That was really fun. Jefferson still doing his thing. They still got Hawk coming back. If Addison ever stops street racing on the weekends, he's going to be a part of this.
Or sleeping in cars.
Or sleeping at the airport, which is insanely high. Listen, I think when we hear Sam Darnold, we think of Geno Smith. We think of the older quarterbacks in this league, Andy Dalton, a guy who's like he missed his moment. Sam Darnold is younger than Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Wow.
He's younger than Joe Burrow.
27.
He's still a young man.
Yeah.
He's still definitely someone who could come in and at least be a Geno Smith for an organization. Or at least be Baker Mayfield for an organization. A franchise guy that you can build a team around. If the defense is playing like this and you have those weapons, why can't you with Sam Darnold?
They've beaten the Niners this year. They've beaten the Texans this year. There's the two teams that we both feel are playoff teams. Obviously, one is the Niners, so that's a great team. Yeah, he's doing it. He's kind of like playing finally for the first time in his career. He's surrounded and he's in a good like environment.
Yeah,
you have Jefferson. You have a good defense. You're not like there's no pressure for him to be pick number 2, right? To be the savior of your franchise. He just go be you, and we'll win the game. Just you being you. And this is also a good look for O'Connell.
I mean,
he's just he's the quarterback whisperer.
There isn't a better coach in the NFC than Kevin O'Connell. I won't say he's the best, but you cannot tell me that any coach, and that's McVay, that's LaFleur, that's all the NFC guys, Shanahan, all those guys. They're all in the same realm. O'Connell is as good as any single one of those guys. He has done more with less when it comes to all those guys. All those guys have weapons.
Yeah.
All those guys have had quarterbacks. This guy is winning. How many quarterbacks has he had in the last 2 years? Now he has Sam Darnold.
Well, today we saw Nick Mullins, and I got PTSD from watching him last year.
Very scary.
Like, please don't have this guy play quarterback. But he's for like I think 5 quarterbacks in the last 2 years, or five or more, and just for him to be winning still and to be relevant, and those quarterbacks to do good, and then once they leave, they're not good anymore for some reason.
Yeah.
Or
and
it's interesting.
An offensive mind like that. Did you have something?
Just the age thing's blowing my mind. He's only 16 months older than Jordan Love.
He's a young man
That's
still.
crazy.
He just came in the league when he was like 20 years old.
And then you could sign him for a 4-year contract. And, he'll be 31 when he gets like that's
blowing my mind right
That's
now.
great.
And what we need to pay attention to is not only is the offense led by Kevin O'Connell, Brian Flores is cooking on defense. Absolutely.
He has thoroughly messed up the high-powered offenses of both the Niners and the Texans in back-to-back weeks.
Yep.
That's incredible. Because if you watch the games, they just move around. This defense, you don't even know. I can't even name you all the starters.
I legitimately can't.
Like, I know they have Van Ginkel and then Harrison Smith, but some guy, who's this guy? But they just perform well. They're all bought in. Offense playing great. Justin Jefferson's still the best wideout in the league. There's the vibes over there in Minnesota with Sam Darnold leading it. It's just fun. And then he came back. He was hurt and came back, and the whole stadium erupted. Like, God.
Well,
Minnesota,
when
like
he went
Sam
down,
Darnold.
you're thinking like, here we go again.
Here we go again. Another carousel of quarterbacks.
Fine. Sammy Dimes went down, and now here comes
It was
Nick, the trash can Mullins.
Nick Mullins just still keeping jobs out there. It's
How does he have a job? Let's move on.
yeah.
Because guys like Skylar Thompson also have jobs.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah. Ball don't lie. Justin Fields haters need to shut the hell up.
Okay, well, I'll cross off my last one. That's exactly where I am.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Fields this year, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 518 throwing, passing yards, and 990 rushing yards. I know those stats aren't great, but their team stats are fantastic. First in rushes per game, 12th in rush yards per game, first in turnover margin, 31st in offensive penalties, and 5th in time of possession. So what you're seeing is, if you watch a Steelers game, you see a whole offense for the first time in about 4 years bought into one vision. We're going to run the ball. We're not going to turn it over, and we're going to throw when we need to. Today against a good Chargers team, they just did what they did every week. They run the ball. They had 1 turnover, obviously, but I'm just so impressed with Justin Fields, and it's funny how the Bears offense is struggling while the Steelers offense just seemed to pick it up really quick, and they're bought in, and Fields looking great. What's funny is that Fields, his teammates have always backed him up, and now you're seeing that there in Pittsburgh. You cannot go back to Russell Wilson now because you're 3-0. You're the Ravens and Browns are 1-2, so now you have a lead. Now you just build off of Justin. It's just great, and the Fields hate needs to stop because what more can you say? Now he's winning, and I'm just so in on Fields now in this Pittsburgh offense. This is great.
Yeah, ESPN lied to you.
Yeah,
Fox lied to you.
Mm-hmm.
All the corporate stooges lied to you. all the insiders, all the experts, and definitely the haters, they all lied to you. Because now the guy who turns over the ball too much is not turning the ball over.
Nope.
Now the guy who is highly inaccurate has a 70% completion percent.
73%.
And now he is in such a limited opportunity to even try to make big plays. It's just every game getting something deep to Pickens. Today, Calvin Austin.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't even have a legit wide receiver core. And just people were just wrong on him. And they just wanted to believe this guy was a bust, was not a real quarterback, was probably another running back parading around as a quarterback. He's the real deal. And like I said before, the Bears would be contenders if they just kept him.
Yeah, he's a total real deal. And now you're wondering, at the end of the year, when Pittsburgh, they're going to sign him, how much he's going to be worth. And but at the end of the year, what's the record going to be? Because if they keep up this offensive play, it's pretty. This style travels, run the ball, play good defense. You could play that against the Chiefs, and it's just. I'm just so impressed with this team, how quickly they bought into Fields and how good they look doing it.
Yeah, Terrell, you guys high on Justin Fields.
I like him as the better option than Russell Wilson. Like, Russell Wilson's not getting on the field this year. But as far as them being a Super Bowl contender, I mean, I don't know. I mean, when you look at the last 10 years as far as Super Bowl champions, there's only been maybe two. I can think of like Denver beating the Panthers, like just really relying on your defense and your quarterback not having great quarterback play, and even like the Patriots beating the Rams like a 13-3 in the Super Bowl. But other than that, you're gonna need a quarterback who can, because that defense once teams figure it out, it's I don't think they're gonna own Mahomes. I don't think they're gonna own Josh Allen like they're owning Justin Herbert, like they're owning Bo Nix. I remember who they beat. Or Kirk Cousins in week 1. So I don't know. I feel like he's still going to have to be consistent. I don't know. You might be looking at another Lamar Jackson type. Might be, his ceiling, which is a good ceiling. But again, we haven't seen Lamar make those big plays when you need him to. When, hey, look, we know you're going to run the ball. We're stopping the run. Can you throw the football? That's what I need to see from Justin Fields. He hasn't been. He's made some good plays. He's made clutch plays. That's why I like him. Because he can make some clutch plays, but can you consistently throw the football? I don't know. I'm not too sold right now.
I'm with you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to add that to what Angel was saying, how like the Bears are struggling right now and how he seems to be doing a whole lot better. I would say even me, someone that can't stand the Bears, I would have more faith in him now because he's answering all the questions up to this week. I mean, he's making the clutch throws. He's running these. He's in the system. He won the starting job. I would say if there's a challenge in front of him, more than likely he's probably going to get it. Is that at least fair?
Yeah, I think the biggest obstacle for him going to Pittsburgh was can he beat out Russell Wilson, and that's because of injury. But whatever, we saw. It's not me comparing him at all. But sometimes when starters get hurt and the new guys come in, sometimes they're better than the actual starter.
Drew Bledsoe
and Tom. I'm not saying it's Tom Brady. I'm saying that's happened. Before.
I just think the Steelers are in a it's not broke, don't fix it situation.
Yeah.
I don't think Justin Fields has been like, wow, but it's like, okay, if we go to Wilson and he's trash, then we go back to Fields and then he's not as good. Now we made the wrong decision. I think you just kind of continue to go with it. It's working, but I don't know. I got to see him do a little bit more throwing the football.
Well, I think to your point, they found their identity, and that's with Justin Fields playing this type of quarterback. And Russell Wilson is not going to come in and continue to lead the team in the way that Justin Fields has been able to play this Steeler brand of football.
I agree. Russ is not getting on the field.
No.
This is Justin Fields' job.
Thank
He already
God.
got it. They're kind of easing. I feel like they're easing Russell Wilson into hey buddy, you're not playing. All
They
right.
also have jumped at the opportunity to start Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Like Russell Wilson was injured, and now for 3 weeks he's had a calf strain.
I think Tomlin's going into Russell Wilson's bed at night and re-injuring that calf. So he wakes up and it's hurt again.
I'm gonna be honest, I know where you're going with that. I want to talk about the Super Bowl contender thing too, because I think I agree with you. They're not Super Bowl contenders. They're just not. And I think it's because of two reasons. They don't have the talent around Justin Fields right now. I think he's a Super Bowl contender with the Bears because of what the Bears have.
Yeah.
That defense, similar to the Steelers defense, but all that talent on offense. The Steelers just don't have that. They have George Pickens, who's been good, and then not really much after him. You're not going to throw 55-yard touchdowns to Calvin Austin every week. And then nothing especially explosive in the backfield. But all that, and you also have a play caller who's just not going to make that decision to all of a sudden start calling plays downfield and try to be an explosive offense.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, I'm out.
I think just Justin Fields.
What the hell? This become out?
No, I was kidding. As a Super Bowl contender,
I think he's the right guy to keep Tomlin around. Tomlin's going to continue to keep his job. The Steelers aren't going to suck or be
the fans are going to be
mediocre.
happy.
Yeah, they're going to be happy. They're going to get a playoff win possibly, but as far as getting to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, no.
You never know. You never know.
I would sign him and I would build around him, and I think he's explosive enough to do it.
Yeah.
I think Arthur Smith might be eventually the obstacle here that they can't overcome.
Yeah, there are some limitations, obviously, because Roman Wilson is still in there, and even if he is there, I'm not sure how much if he's going to add that much to this, to the weapons. But yeah, I just like Justin Fields there because it's just you know what it is, and like the offense is bought in, and maybe the ceiling isn't crazy high, but you're at least going to get a playoff spot, and then after that, whatever happens. Like just get in there, and then. We've seen Nick Foles win a Super Bowl against Tom Brady. Anything can happen.
Yes, we did.
Like, anything can happen, so just get in there. And we've seen Eli Manning beat Tom Brady twice. And at no point in Eli Manning's career did we say he's the best quarterback in football or in his division or, whenever. So just get in and see what happens.
Speaking of the Birds, that leads me to my last one, my last ball don't lie for today, and that is when it comes to the Eagles, this is now Saquon Barkley's team. Saquon Barkley is now the premier star in this team, the leader of this team, and the reason they will go as far as they go this year. It's all about Saquon now. I think he's overtaken Jalen Hurts as the leader of this team and as the key figure on this offense or in that locker room. It's Saquon Barkley. Today, 17 carries, 147 yards. That's an average of 8.6, 2 touchdowns. But really, if you watch that game, it was a whole lot of nothing for 3.5 quarters. Just someone needed to make something happen. And at that moment, Saquon Barkley ripped off a 65-yard touchdown, which, by the way, he can still run. He still has the quickness, and he still has the open field speed. So all those people in the offseason who are, he's washed up, no more juice. He's more of, he can do well, but he's not the same guy he used to be. Well, go watch the film because you're dead ass wrong.
So Joe Shine, whatever his name, he's wrong. Because we saw in the HBO series, the whole thing, he did want to give this running back $12 million. I don't know, Joe. He looks pretty good to me. He looks like he's worth $12 million.
Yeah, has gone from 109, 95, and today 147. Has 4 touchdowns on the season. That is tied for second in the NFL. 351 yards on the ground. That's tied for fifth. 63 carries, tied for fourth. So getting a decent workload. But if you watch this game, AJ, you'll understand how much I love this. He was the guy on the sideline in Jalen Carter's face, pumping him up. Mm-hmm. He was the guy talking to the offensive line. He was the guy showing some kind of energy, some kind of heart, some kind of leadership. Because that's what Jalen Hurts maybe just because it's not his personality. He didn't say anything.
No.
He sits there stone-faced quietly on the bench no matter what's happening. And this team, it's needed a leader. There's no Jason Kelce anymore. There's no, Brandon Graham's older now. Fletcher Cox isn't there. They need someone to step up into that face of the franchise role, and I think it's Saquon Barkley now.
Yeah, and it gives your offense just a baseline. Like, if Jalen Hurts isn't playing well, you can at least run the ball against with that amazing O-line still and Saquon Barkley. Yeah. That's what you guys didn't have last year with Swift, who's a good running back. He's not Barkley to where, like today, the offense was kind of, it couldn't really get moving. Saquon starts running the ball, all of a sudden the offense is moving. Like, it gives your offense another element you've never had, and it's like most of those Giants offenses, it should be all based around Saquon.
Yeah, Eagles today, they beat the Saints, who were 2-0. The offense was rolling at the time. They lost their whole right side of the offensive line. Concussion for Lane Johnson. Mekhi Becton goes down. Devontae Smith just gets absolutely destroyed. Goes out with the concussion. They already didn't have A.J. Brown. So they won without a lot of their pieces today. And I think it's pretty exciting. And I think what Eagle fans have to be okay with is, yes, Jalen Hurts went toe-to-toe with Mahomes in the Super Bowl and lost. But he looked really good. There's a lot to be excited about. But now it's time for the next version of the team. Yeah. Now it's Saquon Barkley's team, and that's fine. And I'm okay with game manager Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I'm okay with running, move the sticks, take a deep shot to A.J. Brown, who we desperately need, by the way, and just don't make mistakes, take care of the ball, and run this thing through Saquon Barkley. A.J., are you with me?
Absolutely. It's nice to have a guy we can lean on. And nothing boils my blood more than when I'm watching the Philadelphia Eagles game.
Here
we
we
go 3 and out, or Jalen Hurts throws a pick, and he just makes that little sulking face, and he walks back to the sideline, and he doesn't say anything to anybody. He just kind of sits down on the bench and just has that blank face. I hate that. So I love having this guy that's going to get in people's face. That's gonna be active on the sideline. And then he's just a guy we can lean on. Exactly what you said. When Jalen Hurts is not playing well, we can execute with the running game. Yeah. Also, bravo to Dallas Goedert today.
Yeah.
10 catches for 170 yards. He was a force today. Yeah. It was so great to finally see that.
We were laughing at him.
We were watching the game.
So that catch that really won us the game. That got us all the way down.
The crossing route.
He just gave up on.
But he's just very slow. He's just an extremely slow man.
He runs like he has to take a shit. Like he's like
he reminded me of that fat kid who has a breakaway run and he knows people are going to catch him. So he's looking back at where's it coming from? Because he was already looking over his shoulder, they're going to catch me.
And he never thought that he'd get that wide open or had that much time to run.
He never believed he was going to score a touchdown.
I don't know what to do with my body when I move this fast. I didn't believe him because he was a little paranoid. He was a little surprised that no one was around him. But yeah, Dallas Goedert, good for you, man. Cut the hair.
Yeah,
cut the hair off.
Yeah, it's so gross.
That's more just for your own personal life. The hair looks ridiculous.
Who's worse hair, him or Brock Bowers?
Ooh, Bowers pretty tough.
They both need to just shave that. I think just come on home.
I think his because his is long. And it's thin on top, so it looks
and
weird.
He's older. It's cool. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're older.
Just embrace
Brock
it.
Brock Bowers is a rookie. That's rough for him.
Maybe he's got something weird under there, some little map of America.
Oh dear.
My question for you and for AJ, how do you guys feel about Sirianni? I mean, just
it changes throughout the game.
Yeah, it's just for me, just game management wise, just not taking points in certain situations. I don't know. He's kind of gives me this Brandon Staley type of vibe. Like you feel like you should do more with the players around you. I don't know. How do you guys feel about him?
I think the bad thing for Sirianni is that he has become increasingly more replaceable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Fangio runs the defense and Kellen Moore runs the offense. I'm not sure what Nick Sirianni does. He kind of makes the speeches and he gives out the awards and he names the captains. I'm not sure. I know he doesn't. I know he's involved in the offensive game plan. He's OC background, but he doesn't call plays anymore. And they basically said you're gonna stop hiring your boys to be the coordinators because that sucks as well. I don't he's if I'm him. You ride this train as long as you can. You say, yes, Mr. Fangio. What do you need, Mr. Moore? Do you need a new coffee? Do you need a scone? What do you need to help me keep my job? Because my days are free.
And in doing that, he needs to quiet down a little bit, too.
Well, that's not Nick.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why Philly loves him.
Honestly, he's one of the most annoying coaches in the NFL.
If you're not an Eagle fan.
Because
Eagle fans love him. If you ever been to Philly and know people from that area, that's your hero.
Gabe's over here breathing.
He's just so.
He definitely has a punchable face. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he does.
There's some, but I tell you what. As soon as that's the easiest lob head coach job. Because I think it's not really the coach's fault because you have talent everywhere and you hire two good coordinators. I think if you had 10 more years as a head coach, I'm trying to think of a random head coach. If Ron Rivera was there, God forbid. And if they were doing good, you wouldn't really question Ron. Oh, he's been a veteran head coach. He's been to Super Bowl. He kind of knows, what I'm saying? Yeah. He doesn't have the presence that those older guys have. So it feels like sometimes you're well, this guy's just getting in the way of this team because I don't think he knows what he's doing.
I don't know if he's getting in the way with it. I mean, the field goal thing is weird. He's making some questionable in-game decisions where he's just passing on points.
Yeah.
For
every week now.
Yeah. That will get you fired. But I think he does play a role still. I think he's still kind of the voice. I think he does a decent job of managing the personalities on the roster. It's kind of funny to watch him and Big Dom just go up and down the sideline, calming. Today, Jalen Carter was ready to fight the entire
going full Jalen Carter
Saints fan base.
And big city of New Orleans.
Big Dom and Sirianni are there, just a couple paisanos trying to hold him back.
Yeah, Big Dom getting a lot of screen time. This year.
Well, he's officially an assistant coach now.
People are very aware of him. He's a big dude. He's a big man.
If you were to, you said he's replaceable. So if you were to replace him, who do you like? Is it Moore? Know. Is it Fangio or a guy like Flores or maybe Belichick? Who do you like? Who would you want to throw in there?
I'll let you go.
I mean, do we just go with the simple the Ben Johnsons and the what's the Houston Texans?
Slowick.
Yeah, Slowick.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know if I like what I'm seeing from Kellen Moore yet. But are those Kellen Moore's decisions or are they Sirianni's decisions that I'm not liking?
Yeah, I'm going with Kellen Moore, and I'm doing it very confident.
Wow.
I think Kellen Moore would be a great fit for this job, especially if he because his offense is definitely much, much better than Sirianni's offense. Like, it's way more efficient. It's way more creative. We've seen him, like today, just the simple scheme of all those crossing routes led to a huge play for Goddard. Two cornerbacks absolutely destroyed each other.
went chest to chest.
Yeah, as Goddard just gets a free release. By the way, the other receiver's wide open too, John Dotson.
Yeah.
If you remember, he plays for the Eagles, hasn't done a damn thing.
Yeah.
But still, I'd be comfortable with Kellen Moore because I think Vic Fangio's there. He'll be the defensive guy. Kellen Moore is obviously found something with his offense, and I think that'd be fine. That's the guy I'd go with.
To Angel's point of like having a guy with that veteran presence, do you like a Belichick or a guy that's maybe coached before in Flores who did a lot with Miami and they didn't have a lot of talent around him?
I mean, Belichick could convince Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio to stay around. But Fangio and Belichick are not.
I'm about to say
No, those two guys.
But maybe Kellen Moore, then yeah, fine. But this is looking like it's working. Now we're 3 games into new coordinators for the 3rd season in a row, and so far this is a very successful team. They are one Saquon Barkley drop away from being 3-0, and so I kind of I wouldn't touch it. And then if you're going to make a change, I think just bump up Kellen Moore.
Man, if this team had Mike Tomlin, I would have the utmost confidence in the world that they could beat anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think like a leader is like what they're missing?
Yeah. I don't know. I think sometimes that
Like
team.
what does Mike Tomlin bring to this team that they don't have?
Just like, I think sometimes it feels like the offense when they see. I've seen a lot of Eagle games because I live with an Eagle fan. That sometimes when the offense doesn't go right, Sirianni, it doesn't feel like he takes control of the team. I feel like he just lets it. The offense goes where it goes, and they'll end up where they end up. And like rather than having someone like that, you want someone who like gets control and kind of leads the team. Because like Ada said, Jalen Hurts sometimes it looks like he just not checks out, but he has that monotone demeanor and face where you want someone to just kind of guide the ship. So I don't know. It's all that being said, Sirianni has had great success as a head coach. So we might just be wrong here.
To that point, do you, as Eagle fans, you genuinely like feel like, hey, we have a shot to win it under Sirianni? Like, do you have the utmost faith in
He
him?
almost did it 2 years ago. I'm not out on Sirianni by any means now. I don't think Tomlin would bring anything that Sirianni doesn't bring because schematically, Tom doesn't make it very any better. I think we definitely went Sirianni. He literally almost just won a Super Bowl with Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. So are you confident with Sirianni Super Bowl wise?
It's not even so much that I'm confident in Sirianni. I don't even really look at Sirianni as who I'm confident in. I'm just confident in this team. I mean, we haven't even talked about the defense putting a stop to the #1 offense in the NFL today.
Yeah.
They didn't score. Did they score a touchdown today? I think they did. Yeah,
they did.
But it was 3-0. Our offense wasn't doing anything the first half. We held them to 3 points in the first half. So I just got confidence in this team.
It's an interesting team because they're as talented as any other team. They just get sometimes it feels like they get in their own way, but
And we're just kind of skating over all the players that we lost today. We go in with no A.J. Brown, no Lane Johnson, no Mekhi Becton. We lose Devonta Smith. I mean, we pulled that out with just half of our offense.
Yeah, I think it was a big win for the Eagles.
The Eagles and the Ravens, those are my big question mark teams going through the season that both of them definitely could collide in the Super Bowl, but also both of them could have underwhelming seasons too as well. So
there's a huge range of outcomes.
Yeah.
Ravens more than I thought.
Yeah, so far I think we're all probably like, hey, Eagles are a lot better positioned than the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are in trouble.
That's a shock.
Ravens are having trouble closing games, which is weird because you just got Derrick Henry, like the best closer in the game, and you can't close. You almost lost today because you couldn't close out games. And last week you lost because you couldn't close out Vegas. It's just weird.
I mean, we don't have to go super deep into this, but I think it's getting stale in Baltimore. I just think it's getting stale. I think you're going to need a change soon. I don't know if it's Harbaugh. I don't know if it's Lamar Jackson.
Say both teams go to the playoffs and lose. Harbaugh gets fired. Would you take Harbaugh or would you take Sirianni? That's the guy I'm like, that's who a team
You'd
could
probably take,
Yeah, you take Harbaugh.
I think about 30 other teams.
that'd be
would say
good.
the same.
He's not saying he's a bad coach. He's just saying it's getting stale there, so he just needs a new look.
Just a little change of scenery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Henry was the shot in the arm they thought he was going to be.
I think it's just weird because they're talented as It's a weird team. Ravens, weird vibe over there.
Their offensive line isn't good, and
It's true.
we just decided not to make that a real thing.
Yeah.
Because they signed Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
But the O-line isn't good. That is the heart and soul of that team. Mike McDonald not being there, I think, is costing him a little bit. That man is winning or currently leading the NFC West.
Yeah.
And so I think we just skated over a lot because they signed Derrick Henry.
But I still love that team.
Anything else you got to point out about week 3? Anything that stood out to you? Obviously, Malik Nabers balls out. Vikings, awesome.
Malik Willis balled out.
Malik Willis. Hey, shout out to Malik Willis.
Yeah, I'm like, with the revenge game.
I mean, what a clutch 7th-round pick in the last week of the offseason. Just slide him in there.
Comes in, just says 2-0.
Shout out to LaFleur, not trying to make him Jordan Love and just saying this is a good running quarterback.
Yeah.
Shout out Liberty University. Have no idea what their mascot is, but you got a guy winning games in the NFL.
Probably the Eagles.
Falcons?
The Liberty Bells, man.
Liberty
Flames.
Bells.
The Liberty Flames. They're the Flames.
The Liberty Flames.
Flaming over there.
God,
Flaming over there.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of flame, Caleb.
Let's
Bringing that Hollywood flair to Chicago.
real quick. The most unwatchable game of the weekend.
Okay, yeah.
Colts and Bears. Oh my God.
Hey, that was my big question too. I needed one of them to show up this game, and neither one.
On paper, you're like, oh, dude, 2 high, draft picks. This is great. They're, they can run. Unwatchable.
Okay, so where are you on these two guys? I have a stance on it. I've taken already both of them. Where Gabe, you hate the Bears. Where are you?
No, I'm glad you said that because I still think lighten up just a little bit when it comes to him.
Caleb Williams.
He did have 2 touchdowns today. I know he had 2 interceptions, but there's some progress there. That's one of my biggest questions was, can he just do something right? Which I know it sounds terrible already, but but the other side, Richardson, I don't know how much faith he has.
He's got a shorter leash.
I watched the parts of that game today, and I was like, I rather watch paint dry. Like honestly, it's just very boring, very Caleb Williams.
What's your confidence in Anthony Richardson as a franchise quarterback?
It's getting smaller and smaller as the weeks go on.
Whoa.
Right, but where is it like right now? 1 to 10. 10 being
10 being the most.
That's the man.
That's my. It's about at a 7, which I still think is hopeful. You can still build off
great.
that, but it's going down.
Terrell, where are you on those guys?
Anthony Richardson, he's always, to me, I feel like he was the project quarterback. So I think give him a little bit of time. Look, Lamar Jackson wasn't amazing in his second season. So I think give him a little bit of time. Caleb Williams is, I don't know. I just always think back to the press conference, the Bears. Like he just, even him throwing his first touchdown and then him and Odunze just being playful with it. Like I don't know. He just doesn't have that dog that like that gravitas. So he's, I don't know. He's kind of annoying. I hated being a USC fan too. You want to root for your guys, but at the same time, he's kind of like I don't know.
It's funny. USC is good now that Caleb Williams is gone.
He's kind of a. he reminds me. He reminds me of like when you play like Madden against the computer, and then you finally played online for the first time and just got smoked by everybody.
Like, holy crap! I'm not that good.
What? I'm not that. That's what he feels like. Just some of the throws he's making.
Yeah.
Some of the plays. I don't know. He's just pump the brakes a little bit on him.
He's interesting because you're seeing steps, but also they did a terrible job of OC. I'm blanking.
Shane Waldron.
It's not. What's their identity? They don't have no identity. They don't run the ball well. They don't play action well. They don't like. You need to lean on something, and they don't know what they are. Maybe that'll come later on. By mid-season. But right now, like, what's your identity? You don't have. You just let Caleb Williams go back there with the worst offensive line in football. Just run around. You only try to hide the offensive line because you love to spread 3 wideouts out and just play backyard football, which isn't great if you have a bad like O-line. It's just your running back. You Swift the way you thought you would. It's just the OC is doing a bad job.
The Bears have an interesting decision coming up here because Eberflus is balling on defense.
Yeah.
He's a great defensive mind. Problem is he's in the head coach's office.
Yeah.
And he's not just going to accept a demotion to defensive coordinator one day, but you're not going to get a top-tier offensive mind in there who has no pathway to be a head coach. That's what happened this offseason.
Yeah.
They had to settle for Shane Waldron, who was just let go and cast off in Seattle after mediocrity there the last couple years. And they had to settle for that because all the top minds aren't going to come and say, yeah, I'll work for Eberflus.
Yeah.
They want to be the guy. So they have a decision coming up where, listen, are we going to sacrifice this great defensive mind because we need a young, offensive-minded coach to tutor our very valuable asset at quarterback.
Yeah.
That's going to be.
Well, what
interesting
actually gets you further, like as far as winning games? What gets you there faster? Probably the better question.
quarterback.
Yeah, no. So that's why I'm saying then Eberflus would naturally be the one to go then, right?
That's still a tough decision though.
It's a very tough decision, but I'd rather have a high flying offense than a good. Well,
I agree with you.
Great defense. It's a good.
Tell you what, if he gets fired, he's getting hired that same day. He's a phenomenal defensive play caller.
Yeah.
It's
just going to be hard because you're going to fire him knowing full well he did great at what he was doing in the building.
I think
that's going to be so tough.
I think you fire him because he's not a great head coach. You hire him because he's a good coordinator. I think he just
you fire him because you hired the wrong offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's
the hard part.
Yeah, that's also you hired the wrong guy.
Really not his job or not his fault.
Yeah, you put Slowick or any one of those offensive minds there in Chicago, you just trust it.
Yeah. On those quarterbacks though, I'll say we need to wait. Like being out on Anthony Richardson at 22 years old, he's played not even 20 games since high school of football.
He is the true wild horse.
22 years. We need to pump the brakes on these guys. Pump the brakes on Caleb Williams. Look at the league. Sam Darnold is turning around his career in year 27. He beat C.J. Stroud, who's supposed to be the second coming of Mahomes. He looked terrible today. We need to pump the brakes. That young quarterbacks are up and down, up and down. Just chill out when it comes to, he's not it. He's not it at 22 in year 2 and game 16 or 17 since high school. Let's get the next guy in there. That's what the NFL has become, and it's just we need to pump the brakes. Meanwhile, we're trying to convince people that Trevor Lawrence isn't actually very good.
Trevor Lawrence gets...
we have to convince people about that. About Trevor Lawrence. I have a stat on Trevor Lawrence. The first 18 games of his career, he has gone 13 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, 60% completion percentage, 3-15. There's another guy who's similar numbers. His first 18 games, 2-16, 11 touchdowns, so that's 2 less than Trevor Lawrence, 13 interceptions, that is 5 less than Trevor Lawrence, and the same completion percentage. That second quarterback, Bryce Young.
Oh, yeah.
We're trying to convince.
We have compared him to Daniel Jones and now Bryce Young.
We have never.
It's just the numbers.
We've never been not I wouldn't say pro Trevor Lawrence, but we've always said pump the brakes on naming this kid the next guy. I'm not even sure if he's a starter. He's just
they're naming the freaking stadium after him
and then losing.
I just don't understand. It's such a narrative BS. We have to convince you that Trevor Lawrence isn't actually good, that Deshaun Watson isn't actually good, but you're throwing out the 22-year-old kid. I don't get it.
It's interesting. I think we just pick and choose. I think it's just kind of just eyeball it sometimes. He's never going to get it.
By the way, let's talk about Brock Purdy.
I think for me, when it comes to him, though, I think it's just because he's so raw and he reminds me of Tim Tebow. When Tim Tebow came to the league, it was like.
You're talking about Anthony Richardson?
Yes, it's can Tebow actually play 10 straight years as crazy and as wild as he is?
I'll let the Bronco fans answer this. Is he Tim Tebow?
I didn't say it was Tim Tebow.
No, he's not Tim Tebow.
No, Tebow was
unplayable.
Yeah, he was for one wild ride, and then once Peyton Manning became available, you were gone.
Look, I think it's just about its timing, its scenario, its even environment you're in. Because look at the top quarterbacks right now. We're talking about Geno Smith. You're talking about Sam Darnold, who leads the league in touchdown passes. So you got guys even Minshew, who's looked
Baker Mayfield.
Good at time. Baker Mayfield, is another quarterback. So I think it just who knows? Maybe it's a situation, and just give quarterbacks time, or at least let them sit for a little bit.
It's a big quarterback week this week.
His last 2 weeks, he's gone 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions. That's rough.
Yeah,
but he's also played Green Bay and Chicago, two of the better defenses.
Yeah,
I think if anything was wrong, it's our expectations that this Colts team is a little farther than they actually are. They're actually not a contender yet. They're actually probably not going to win that division.
Yeah.
And they might just be a year or two away.
Yeah. That stinks because I wanted them to be good now. But, yeah, sometimes you watch Richardson and you're just like, this guy needs some seasoning.
Okay, that's our show for today, guys. Thanks so much for joining us for this Week 3 recap. Ball Don't Lie, Benchies, all a good time. We will see you Wednesday. Also, check out our Monday Night Football preview, also released on this channel. Check that out as well. See you Wednesday. Bye.